Hey, welcome back to Room 237. Come at you with another review. First off, I just want to apologize for the lack of videos. Like I said last week, I just started a new job on night shifts. Still getting used to the sleep schedule. I'm still kind of on the burnt out side. I'm going to be busy tomorrow, and today it is hot as holy fuck outside, even for Maine. So I'm just sitting inside in the air conditioning and enjoying my day off. So I figured I'd do a few videos. And I have the feeling there's going to be quite a few rants coming up because I've sort of been in a mood to do remakes for some stupid ass reason. So I figured there's going to be a lot of rants coming up. So I figured I'd do a movie that I actually really enjoy. And I don't own this movie. I would love to get it someday. I know a 4K version just came out recently. That is Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, which I love, absolutely. It is, I don't remember if it was in my top 10 or 15 favorite comedies or an honorable mention. Rewatching it just now, it's got to be in my top 10. I mean, Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, it is without a doubt the funniest, most clever, and original comedy film of the last 15 years, at least. For those that don't know, because it was released independently, had a very limited release, which sucks. I mean, unless it's like a Melissa McCarthy movie, it doesn't get a wide release, which is a shame. But Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, it's a horror comedy in the vein of Evil Dead 2 or Dead Alive. Not as gory, but it reminds me a lot of like Evil Dead 2, which is in my top 5 favorite movies ever made. I love Evil Dead 2. And it's basically, it's a parody, not necessarily to the extent of like Mel Brooks or Zucker and Abrams, but it is sort of a parody or a spoof or a twist on like the 80s slasher films. Because you have these two guys, Tucker and Dale, played by Adam Turdyk and Tyler Labine, respectively. They're these two well-meaning, good-to-do, backwoods hillbillies. They buy their dream vacation house, which it looks just like the Evil Dead cabin. It's all run down and derelict. And at the same time, there's all these pretty college kids going out to have a good time out in the woods right nearby. And what sort of kicks this whole thing off is they decide to go skinny dipping. And one girl who, her name's Allison, I gotta look her up. Katrina Bowden plays Allison. She's a psychology student. And she's not stuck up like the rest of them, or completely ignorant or stupid like the rest of them. She starts to get undressed for swimming. Tucker and Dale are fishing. Tucker's trying to watch, but Dale's going like... Dale is the submissive, sweet-natured one. Dale's a little more, crass. Well, not necessarily crass, but more blunt. He has more bad luck happen to him. They scream, she falls and hits her head. They try to rescue her, and the friends see them bringing her into their boat, so they run off. And pretty much the whole movie, or up until the third act, it's the friends trying to save her from their cabin, but they keep dying by accident. But to the other friends, it looks like Tucker and Dale is killing them. And I think that is just so clever and so fucking hilarious. Like, one, I don't want to give away all the gags or anything like that. But one is, Dale, or Tucker, excuse me. He's throwing wood into a wood chipper. And one friend has, like, a knife and he's going to go run at him. But Tucker, like, bends over to pick up a piece of wood and he just dives into the wood chipper. So like he's trying to pull him out by his legs, and the friends, to them, it looks like he's shoving him in there. And it's so funny. It's because it really does put a whole twist on it, which has never been done before, at least not that I've seen. I mean, you could argue Hatchet is a horror comedy, but the comedy is separate from the horror, so that's the difference. The third act gets a little bit different because and of course, Dale is, people might recognize him from Rise of the Planet of the Apes. He's the heavier set guy that had to put down all the apes. He works with James Franco. He's incredibly sweet-natured. Him and Allison start gaining a friendship, and the head guy, the sort of leader of the college friends, he's a typical frat boy douchebag. He's got his polo with his popped collar, and yeah. You start getting he's a bit of a psycho. And the third act is drastically different, but it is very funny throughout the whole movie and very well written. The two leads who play Tucker and Dale, they have great chemistry, great comedic chemistry and timing with each other. Fun as hell to watch. And also, this just popped in my head just now. Normally in a slasher film, yeah, the characters are kind of stupid. That's why they get themselves into these situations. They hear a noise in the basement, they have to go check it out. Here, they are extremely stupid for the sake of comedy. I mean, like, while Tucker's throwing wood in the wood chipper, Dale is supposed to be digging a hole for the outhouse, and Allison comes out to help. So the friends are coming up and they're like, oh my god, he's making her dig her own grave. Like, just come up with all these stupid reasons for why they're the evil ones. I would say the third act is less funny, but it's still very enjoyable. I like how there's a backstory, because in all these slasher films, there's a backstory about something that happened years ago. And I'm not going to give it all away, because I feel like this is a movie not a lot of people have seen, unless you're like a big horror fan. It was released back in 2010. I don't know if I said that already. But, yeah, the third act, I mean, and also there's just great moments. Like, Tucker and Dale have this very sweet moment together. The truck they're driving, there's an accident, you think Tucker's not doing well. So they have this very great heart-to-heart moment, and you start feeling for them, but then there's just, they do like this best friends forever, and they go like this, but Tucker's missing a couple fingers, so he like crushes his hand. He's like, that hurt very much. And I just think it's very well. I know this review hasn't been very in depth, but it's hard to review comedies, because then all you're doing is really talking about like what parts you think are funny. I will say, it does have good gore effects. There is some CGI, but even the CGI in this looks infinitely better than CGI that's in like a theatrical release horror film. But also the substance around the CGI is very entertaining, so it's very forgivable. And also, I don't really want to give everything away because I want people to see this. It's on Netflix. This is probably the third time I've watched it. I do need to pick it up someday, though. I really would love to. And so, yeah, if you haven't seen it, go to Netflix, like, now and watch it. If you're a fan of, like, Evil Dead, or Evil Dead 2, even Hatchet, and just slasher films in general, and it's not, like... And it's not lowbrow humor. It's not like a bunch of, there's no fart jokes. There's not one fart joke, which is amazing that you can get a modern comedy that doesn't have fart jokes. There's no sex jokes. There is one dick joke, but it's well done. Because the guy that plays Dale sells it very well. No, I'm not going to spoil it. But, yeah, it's very well acted. I mean, some of the college kids are kind of hammy, but, you know, I think they're supposed to be that way. The guys that play Tucker and Dale are fucking awesome. The girl that plays Allison, she did very well. She's a girl that you can like and root for. And it's just funny all throughout. And it is sort of like a Mel Brooks or Zucker Brothers parody because, you know, you can watch it and you get all the sort of slasher tropes that they're kind of spoofing. It doesn't really spoof in particular slasher films. It's just sort of a stereotypical setting. And I think it does it very well. You know, for example, like when they get to the cabin, it looks just like the Evil Dead cabin. They go inside. I mean, there's like bone things hanging, like Chainsaw Massacre. And there's like, person that lived here must have been some sort of architect. And then there's like this collection of newspaper clippings of Killing Spree, One Survivor, Psycho Killer, Mass Bloodshed. And then there's like a coupon for chili dogs, and that's the only thing they notice. So, and it is also very heartwarming just because the relationship between Tucker and Dale. And it's just a very, 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 very good, funny, well written, well acted, perfect blend of horror and comedy. It is very goofy. It is very bloody. And I absolutely love it. It has got to be in my top 10 favorite comedies. I guess there was going to be a sequel, but either Labine or Turdyk read it and said it was kind of disappointing and not very funny. So it said it was unlikely it would be made, which sucks because, well, actually no, it doesn't suck because I think this one ended very well. It's not something you got to keep rehashing. It was sort of a lightning in a bottle type deal. But anyway, highly recommend it. It's very funny. And again, especially for horror fans, it takes something that is completely unoriginal, turns it on its head, and makes it very original, clever, witty, and very funny. So with that, highly recommend Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. It's on Netflix. Go watch it. And thank you for watching.